Chapter 199, The Sword Bearer of the Sword Palace, Immortal Sword Thunder Pool, Ancestor of the Demonic Cult. What are you still standing around for? Demonic cult's cultivators have already attacked the doorstep of our home. At the back mountain of the Chu mansion, a white-robed elderly sternly warned, "We cannot let those spirit beasts encroach the mansion, otherwise, the entire mansion will face destruction. Quick, immediately activate the large array." Many of the Chu family elders hurriedly commanded. Chen Ked, the eldest son of the Chen family, directed his focus towards Bai Tu Hua, who was not far away, and shouted loudly, "Whoever you are, since you dare to attack the disciples of the Chen family, it's a capital offense." Although he could not match Han Yi, this Bai Tu Hua was, after all, a Golden Core late-stage cultivator. "Capture him," Cheng ordered the Nascent Soul Realm elder behind him. Upon hearing the orders, the elder, with a serious countenance, quickly made his move. His body swayed slightly. The next moment, he appeared in front of Bai Tu Hua, throwing out a palm. Bai Tu Hua crossed his arms over his chest, expressing a scornful smile, not moving a single inch. "Cack cack, shameless old man, you want to bully the weak with strength, let this old man take your life." Behind Bai Tu Hua, a grin and hoarse voice sounded. Soon after, a ball of green ghost fire rushed out from behind Bai Tu Hua. You could faintly see, within the ghost fire, apparently stood an old man dressed in a black robe. His hair disheveled, showing a face like a white skeletal skull. The entire body of the old man in the black robe emitted a cold ghost chill, like a black hole, sucking in all the spiritual chi between the heavens and the earth, creating a giant ghost image in the void. Seeing the black shadow within the ghost fire, Chen Yi's old face showed a horrified expression, exclaimed, "A deity transformation expert." The Nascent Soul Cultivator elder drew back his pawn, and immediately exploded backward to escape. "You want to escape? Can you escape? Die for me." The black figure standing in the ghost fire, holding a blood soul nether flag, waved forward, wrapping the Nascent Soul Realm elder in a whirlwind. Dan! The host flag shook again. The elder's body exploded and turned into a cloud of blood, revealing a crystal-clear Nascent Soul. After absorbing the blood, the nether flag became even colder and colder, and the ghost shade emitted made 1,000-li area pitch dark. A giant black ghost image stood in midair, holding the blood soul nether flag, looking just like a Yama coming out of hell. This man was none other than the notorious Ghost Old 3 of the cultivation world, and also one of the many protectorates of the demonic cult. Ghost Old 3 took a big breath, sucked the fleeing elder's Nascent Soul into his mouth, demonstrating a satisfied and cruel smile on his face. After that, he turned his gaze to Chen Ke on one side. Chen Ke's face turned extremely pale, and his heart was full of fear. From another direction, hundreds of spirit beasts pulled the Skyfire Thunder Pearl, rushing into the Chu mansion like a tide, charging in all directions. Boom! Boom! Explosion zone after another echoed in the Chu mansion. The ground shook continuously, accompanied by the sounds of collapse and screams. The Chu mansion suffered from this onslaught, and countless buildings were destroyed, and many clansmen were tragically killed under the Skyfire Thunder Pearl. At this moment, all of a sudden, the black clouds above everyone's head ignited, turning into a mass of red fiery clouds. Quoch! A meteor, burning with flames, flew in from outer space, broke through the clouds, and aimed at the sword palace of the Chu family below. In an instant, it felt like the end of the world was upon them. All people were so overwhelmed by the aura of the fiery meteor that they could not breathe. Among them, some cultivators with low cultivation directly fell to the ground. Han Yi stood on the ground, staring at the sky, his eyes narrowed. Finally saw clearly the fiery meteor. It was a warhammer, enveloped in raging flames. Someone from the outer space had thrown a warhammer. If that warhammer strikes the Chu family's sword palace, one can imagine the terrifying destructive power it would bring. Quoch! A thick beam of light rushed up from the center of the Chu mansion, piercing through the layer of clouds, connecting the heavens and the earth. The next moment, a layer of white light rose from the ground, covering the Chu mansion. The first layer of the city protection array of Chu Sword Palace was activated. At the same time, the warhammer slammed into the first layer of the city protection array, creating a dent in the huge light shield. Dan! The first layer of the city protection array only held up for a short moment before it was pierced by the warhammer. With a loud bang, the fiery warhammer struck above the gate of the Chis Sword Palace, pulverizing the gate in an instant and slamming a 100-meter wide crater into the ground. In the inner part of the crater, black smoke billowed, and large cracks spread all around. Centered around the crater, all the buildings within 10 miles of the Chis Sword Palace collapsed and turned into ruins. At the same time, many of Chis swordsmen and reclusive powerhouses rushed out from the depth of the mansion, all standing on the mansion wall. From afar, you could see a crowd of extraordinary figures. Each was a world-class master, like a true god descended to the earth. It was unknown how many years had passed since the Chu family had been provoked. The sudden attack of the Baitia demon sect may have caught the Chu family off guard. But it did not hurt the root of the Chu family. There was still room to counterattack. Of course, during this attack, the gate of the Chu mansion was destroyed and a large number of young people from the four major families died. And several nascent soul elders even perished at the doorstep.